Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Got a bit of a frog in my throat tonight, I'm not sure why. So it's Tuesday night and I am here with a sketch challenge for you. Every Tuesday night I create a sketch and jump on and share it with you and create a project using it. If you're on my newsletter list, you get a sneak peek of the sketch a little earlier in the day. And if you're not on my newsletter list, you can hop over to stampingwithmelva.com and you will find the pop-up will come up and you can subscribe if you are interested. All right, I am using the Gathering Together. I have to get them mixed up. It's Gathering Together Designer Series paper, which is part of the Gathering Together suite. It was an online exclusive that came out in September, and it's so pretty. This time I'm using very subtle colors with whites and creams and a pop of crushed curry. I haven't used crushed curry in a long time. All right, let's switch over and we'll get started on the sketch. Don't forget, if you are watching me, say hi, let me know where you're watching from, whether it's Facebook. I think I've got it so I can see Facebook comments, Facebook group comments as well. Hey Holly, welcome, yay. Okay, so this is the sketch. Pretty simple. I'm gonna let the designer series paper be the star of the show. Of course I can't not add some ribbon and embellishments, but the card base is 4 1/4 by 11 or 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. A layer 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then this white layer is 3 3/4 by 5. Then 3 pieces that are 1 inch by 4 3/4. And then a sentiment, which is what this black is. So I've said 2 by 3. Whatever fits your sentiment. I'm actually using a die cut label and we'll do some heat embossing on it. So let me show you what I'm using. So this is the Gathering Moments stamp set, and all I'm actually using from this is this sentiment. I love this sentiment that says your friendship means the world to me. So that's all I'm using. If you watched me on Sunday, I think it was, I used the images as well, and I'm combining it. My label is coming from, this is the traditional labels dies. It's part of that traditional Christmas suite that is absolutely amazing. But aren't these labels amazing? Look at them, all sorts of different kinds of stitching on them. And so this is the label that I cut out, this one, with kind of a dot dash kind of stitching to it. So I'm going to do some heat embossing like that. Again, these are, I love when we have a set of labels that we can use for sentiments or images. Okay, so here's what I'm using. Let's bring in. So I've got a piece of early espresso that's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. My crushed curry, 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's been a long time since I've used crushed curry, but the designer series paper has it in it. Then this is the designer series paper that I'm using, but I'm using this one on the opposite side with the little circles in early espresso. And then I've cut 3 pieces of this gorgeous, it's specialty paper, so it's got the gold foil. So those are what I'm, pretty simple card. Make them all go that way, I guess. Like that. And then my label is going to go on. Of course, I'm going to add some ribbon and some embellishments. Okay, so let's put this off to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some heat embossing. So I've already gone ahead and cut out my label using that die that I showed you, and I'm going to use Versamark. Just going to run my embossing buddy over my label. There we go. And I'm going to stamp it using Versamark. Going the right way. I'm going to stamp it down here just because I want to see if I'm straight. I haven't got my label on. Okay, that's pretty straight. Hopefully. Oh, pretty good. Okay. It's hard to see when you're stamping in Versamark. So stamping on a silicone mat, or you can stamp on grid paper as well. It's just a little bit harder to see. So I've got my gold embossing powder, trying not to make a mess, like I always do. And if you rubbed it with your embossing buddy, it shouldn't get extra embossing powder on it. And if you do get it on it, pull out the brush, oopsie, the little brush that comes with your embossing additions kit. I'm going to grab my tweezers as well because this is pretty small to hang on to. And now my heat tool. So we're just going to hold my heat tool in one place until you see it start to melt. And it's pretty easy with the gold. It starts to go really shiny and glossy. You don't want to hold it, you don't want to move it over it, the whole thing. There we go. You just want to hold it in one spot till it starts to melt, and then you can start to move it around. And when it's done, it's done. You don't have to hold it for too long in one spot. And in fact, if you hold it for too long, it starts to kind of melt into the paper. So there we go. There's my sentiment. So now we can start and put our card together. Like I said, it's a pretty simple sketch today. So 5.5 by 8.5 is my early espresso. Oops, yep, and then score it at 4 1/4. Had this momentary panic that I was actually cutting and not scoring. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. All right, so fold into the mountain or the raised line and burnish it with your bone folder. Okay, so now we've got our piece of crushed curry. I think I managed to get the clog out of my glue. Yes, I did. So just put some glue or Stampin' Seal, whatever it is that you use. I like to use the liquid glue for this. Okay, so that's on. Now this is it's called, what is it called? Irregular Weave Trim. And this is part of the Autumn Tool Suite. I really love this, and so I'm just going to take a piece that is about 6 inches and put it around. We'll adhere it onto the back. Now this is where I like to bring my Stampin' Seal out, but I actually don't. I've got to fill my Stampin' Seal, so I'm going to use just tear and tape, just to keep. I like to give it a little bit more stability with the ribbon, so the ribbon doesn't pull out, or, yeah, pull out from the sides. So we'll just put some tear and tape. And then I'm going to use tear and tape over top of this and to adhere this on. Normally this is where I would use some more Stampin' Seal, but we will just take and put 3 strips of tear and tape on this. That should be plenty. And if you don't have a take your pick tool, these are amazing. I did a couple of kit classes a couple of weeks ago when I was visiting family in Calgary, and I was so glad I took the take your pick tools, because there was all sorts of little die cuts that people were poking out, and they would have gone crazy if I hadn't had the, oops, I forgot what I did. I meant to put those. Well, that wasn't so clever. I've already put my ribbon on. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to tuck these pieces. So we're gonna glue our designer series paper, and we're just gonna tuck that underneath and hope I don't get too much glue. And what I do get on here will be covered up. So just putting a little bit of glue. Lift this up I always put the outside ones if I have 3, so put the 2 outside ones, and then the middle one you can just kind of line up in the center and get it equal distance from the other 2. There we go. Yeah, so if you're doing this at home, these pieces go on before your ribbon goes on. Oh well, I managed to rescue it. All right. Now I'm going to put this over to the side. I'm going to use dimensionals because I want to put just a little bit of I want to make a faux bow, and so I'm going to put it over my sentiment over to the side. Bit of an overkill on the dimensionals, but it's a big label, so I don't want it to be wobbly and sag. Hey Roberta, welcome. There we go. So I'm so excited for tomorrow. There is the Join Special starting tomorrow. It's amazing Join Special. So if you've ever considered becoming part of the stamping community and more specifically joining my team of ink and paper stampers, amazing team I have, tomorrow's the day. 2 options. You can get $135 in product, no shipping, which is also great, for $48 Canadian, or you can get $252 for $135 Canadian. So 2 amazing offers, just depends on how much money you want to spend. Both get free shipping, which is saving 11%. So if you're at all interested in that, or you want some more information, or you want to chat about it. I know when I signed up almost 15 years ago, there was a Join Special, and I thought it was too good to be true. Like, why would they offer me this? Don't I, what if I drop? Do I have to send it back? Well, no, you actually don't have to send it back. There's no catch to this. It's just an amazing way to get a discount on what you're ordering. That's why I signed up. I had no intention of doing this as a business. I just signed up for the discount. And now I am part of this most amazing community, which is why I've stayed around for almost 15 years. So if you are interested, reach out, let me know. Or if you know somebody that is interested, reach out to them. All right, and so I just took a piece of the same designer series paper, 3/4 of an inch by 4, and that piece of basic white is 4 inches by 5 1/4. There we go. So those embellishments are streaked dots, is what they're called, and they kind of look like they're wood grained, which is really fun. It's hard to see that sentiment. I kind of wish that was brighter, but anyway, fall-like card. Based on today's sketch. If I can find the sketch out from underneath. There we go. That was the sketch, and that's my card. Stayed pretty true to the sketch tonight. All right, everybody. Now tomorrow I'll be live a little earlier. I have a sorority event tomorrow night, and so I will be live about 3 o'clock tomorrow. So hopefully you can join, or if you can't join me live, watch on the replay. Be a technique tomorrow. I'm not sure what the technique that I'm going to use, but come join me or watch the replay tomorrow. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hope you